My name is John Allen, aka the One Man Riot. I did my first fight in 2004, and since then this is probably the scariest thing that I've ever done. I've been here at Factory X for 6 years, and I had the privilege to train with Mark and a handful of these other guys before that. I only bring that up because how it relates to my why I fight topic. Their thoughts on teams and their actions as teammates are the reason why I'm standing here today. There are two types of people, those that bring you up and those that tear you down. What type of teammate are you? We are consistently told by people who come and train here how different it is, how our culture feels like a real family. Well, that's because culture eats strategy for breakfast. Our culture is built on the backs of you and I, but can we be better? Can we be better to each other? Can we work on elevating each other and bringing each other up on and off the mat? Only you get to decide that. Throughout my life, I've been on multiple types of teams, whether they were athletic, family and relationship, or work in corporate teams. And yes, if you want those last two to be successful, you need to have the same drive and focus on them as any athletic team that you've ever been on. Things that I found that build a strong team are clear communication, trust and respect, unwavering standard and proper motivation to that standard, and leadership, not just by one, but throughout an entire team. On the flip side of that, things that will destroy a team are ego, disrespect, selfishness, and bossing and bullying. And there's a huge difference between being a boss and being a leader. In the third grade, I moved back to California and joined a baseball team. I'm not very good at baseball. I don't remember a whole lot, but there are two things that I'll never forget. One was the way the team captains made me feel. I wasn't good, I wasn't in their friend group, and they constantly tore me down. No matter what I did on or off the practice field, no matter how many extra hours I put in, it was never good enough, and they constantly reminded me of that. The second was in the last game of the season when I actually hit the ball. I was thrown out at first base, but my entire team rushed out of the dugout and lifted me up like I just hit a grand slam against the Yankees to win the World Series. I got up to bat 2 more times that game, and I hit on base both times. Their lifting me up gave me confidence to be in there, right? When I moved to Colorado, I was lucky enough to join and wrestle with the Ponderosa wrestling team during the height of its wrestling dynasty. Yeah. We hadn't lost a duel in years, and we didn't lose one for years after that. My first practice went like this. Freshmen, clean the mats. You have to earn your way onto this team. From there, we did warm-ups and technique. And then freshmen and first-year wrestlers were put through Bull in the Ring. Basically what that is where you wrestle an upperclassman, most of them multiple-time state placers, for 25 minutes, getting a new partner every 2 to 3 minutes. While you're being power doubled and thrown, you're being yelled at to get up, but in a motivating light, right? You are literally being thrown to the ground, and across the mat you hear, get up, don't quit, fight, don't you dare give up. That let you, one, feel what the standard for practices were, but two, give you the option if you wanted to be on that team. Let you see the future of that program. At the end of practice, we lined up, we did our jumping jacks, all while reciting the team creed. Desire, dedication, heart, respect, family. Desire, dedication, heart, respect, family. These were the things that built such a strong program. While I was there, I learned what a successful team is made up of, and it's very simple. It's a group of people with infinite respect for each other, a drive to motivate and push each other to their set goals, an unbreakable work ethic, and everyone moving in the same direction. Someday, if you aren't already, you'll most likely have a job working with people. If you use the same mindset you have here, it will build your success in the workforce. I've been blessed over the years of basically since what I thought was going to be my forever career, being put in management and leadership roles of 5 or 6 to teams of upwards of over 50. When I first started, I was a boss. I managed through fear, ego, and anger. I used threats and belittling as motivation, and as a result, I encountered high turnover rates, low team production, 0 loyalty, and any success my team had was either from luck or from work that I had to do myself. And I was constantly asking, why do I have to do everything? Why doesn't everybody work as hard as me? I was quick to blame my employees for team failures and shortcomings. I was losing. I wasn't learning. A few years ago, my district manager was missing the mark with me hard as a team member. And it clicked. This is what I had been doing with my team for years. I wanted to build a team. I wanted to be a better manager, and I wanted to be a strong team leader. So first was to communicate my mistakes and work to build their trust. I was open and honest, which opened the door to a real relationship with each team member. I am very transparent with my teams. I ditched my ego. My experience and accomplishments didn't matter. I had to earn their respect. I worked in the trenches with my team. I never asked them to do anything I wouldn't do, and I didn't tell them what to do. I showed them how to do it. As a team leader, I was accountable for setting and holding team standards, but to get them to it, I had to find out what each team member's goals were. What motivated them? And I had to really put in work in driving each one of them to success, all while communicating my standard and never backing off of it. In turn, our team standards were consistently elevated and we became stronger as a whole. Last was leadership and empowering each one of my team members to step into leadership roles, no matter what their job title was or their basic responsibilities were. The strongest teams are full of leaders, and that is a standard for me. All my teams are full of leaders. Recently, I was doing qualitative assessments and performance reviews with my team members. And one of my tellers said, well, John, I'm not a lead, I'm just a teller. My response to her was, that's not what I want on my team. I can hire a 16-year-old kid to run deposits, but I expect leaders out of every single one of you. So how are you elevating your team? How are you pushing them? How are you teaching them your success? Now, what the hell does any of that mean to you guys? So let me ask you again, what type of teammate are you? When given the opportunity, do you lift people up either mentally or their skill set in some way? Or do you make them feel small, not as good as you, or even worth your time? What's your communication like with your team? Is it clear and open or full of put downs and egos? If you have an issue with someone here, do you talk about it in a respectful manner or talk shit? There's a very big difference between us talking shit to each other on the mat to push each other and to get better and running your mouth about a teammate behind their back. Sometimes you need to light someone up. Someone's fucking up, right? They're messing up. We need to fix something. They're not meeting a team standard. But have you put in the time to have those conversations with somebody if need be, to be able to do it in an uplifting fashion? How well do you know your teammates' goals and fears or what motivates them? In January, we all took behavioral and motivator tests. How many of us talked about our results? If you don't know somebody or you want to build a relationship, that'd be a great way to start and really help somebody push towards their goals. The great thing about this team is that you don't even get the option to see if this is the right place for you without being introduced to a standard that has been set by our head coach. I'm going to say that again. The great thing about this team is you don't even get the option to see if this is the right place for you without being introduced to a standard that has been set by our head coach. And now it's just our job to elevate it. And last but not least is being a class act and leader. As a leader, do you make others feel like they want to be held down and not get better? Or heaven forbid they get better than you? Do you boast about your greatness or do you find ways to make others great? Do you let your ego get in the way and take that shot as hard as you can, or do you teach improvement? Do you make people feel like you're too good, too savage, or too high up the rankings to work with someone? Or do you give them a challenging ground and teach them along the way? Teach them how to be savage like you. I promise you, people are always watching and taking note. People will always remember the times that you lifted them up or put them down. We also consistently have people watching us, either here on the benches or events all over the world. What's their impression of you? We are a reflection of each other and this team. If you start running out of training partners, I challenge you to stop pointing fingers and look in the mirror. Maybe you need to make some changes. Maybe you need to communicate more. Be transparent. Drop your ego. Elevate those around you and lift them up mentally. I'm going to make this easy for you guys. My biggest motivator is learning and getting better. That's what drives me to get here every single day, is the chance that I will learn something and improve my skills. My standard is to surround myself with positive people that drive me and don't put others down for sport. My current short-term goals are to fight professionally and to have my parents see me fight one day. I've been fighting since 2004, and they've never seen me fight ever. Also to make sure I keep getting my ass up in the morning and make it to strength conditioning. My biggest fear is freezing and not performing in a fight. One thing that has always rung true to me, and I challenge you to internalize this, is you are not the most important person on the mat. Your teammate is. They sacrifice their time, their money, and their body to help you achieve your goals. Thank you.